The You're Gonna Love This or Not podcast contains harsh language that may not be suitable for younger listeners.
Why would you answer this call? Why would you answer this call? Why?
No, I don't want to buy any.
Oh, come on, man. You knew it was me.
Ah, damn it. I thought you were a spam call.
Oh. So are you coming to movie night this month?
I don't know.
It's going to be spectacular.
I mean, the last couple movies have been okay, and so I feel like that I'm about to get exposed to a real shit show.
You like those last two movies?
Yeah, Mac and Me was fun.
Mannequin 2 not so fun.
Yeah.
That's okay, because this movie is by the same director.
Oh, yay.
That's right. This is our fourth movie in our series of A Salute to All Directors, but mostly Stewart Raffill.
We really should find their directors.
It's the final one, don't worry.
I hope so.
We're moving on for May.
Are we going to watch a race car movie for May?
No.
I feel like that'd be on theme, though.
It would be, but there's just...
Not a lot of bad race car movies.
Yeah. But anyhow, we're ready to go. If you come over, we've got the movie on tap.
All right. I guess I'll come over.
All right, dude. We'll see you.
All right.
In this month's episode of You're Gonna Love This or Not, Matt is joined not only by Josh, but also Jacob, back for his second visit to the SFP. They're experiencing the wrap-up of the celebration of all directors, but mainly Stewart Raffill marathon with the sci-fi classic Ice Pirates. This 1984 film is based in a galaxy where water is a rare and precious commodity and features Ron Perlman not acting like Ron Perlman. Will Josh and Jacob enjoy the space swashbuckling, or will they hope Matt ends up with space herpes? Let's listen to the trailer, then find out.
At last, the space comedy you didn't know you were waiting to see. The Ice Pirates. In the far distant future, in a galaxy where those in the know don't go, real estate is cheap, and they've got great sushi. But there's no water.
You got any water?
It is a time when desperate men will swing from the chandeliers. Just to get a drink.
Just take a look at that.
Good men like Jason, space pirate and explorer of the cosmos. His chief engineer and fellow rogue Roscoe.
They come. Oh, here, quit that.
And the beautiful Princess Karina. One tiny band who must bust their buns, battling the masters of all the water in the galaxy. The evil Mithradoids, famous for not being nice.
Killing you would be too easy. I have something better in mind.
The Ice Pirates.
Let's party.
See startling special effects. See depravity in zero gravity. See glamour girls from another galaxy. See kung fu robots. And delight in the mysteries of the seventh world. The one place in the universe to get a decent glass of water.
Don't do that.
Insist. How's it going? Oh, it's going great. How's it going with you?
The Ice Pirates. A totally spaced adventure.
Matt, you son of a bitch.
Oh, come on, man. That movie was sort of awesome.
No. Nothing about that movie was awesome.
It was kind of awesome?
Nope.
It was mildly awesome.
Steaming pile of garbage.
Out of the 4 Stewart Raffill movies we watched, it's my favorite?
No. Not even close. Yeah, Mike, our producer, also, that was his favorite. And I actually had a lot of hope in this movie because Mike said that I like this movie unironically. And usually when Mike says I like this movie unironically, it's a pretty decent movie. He lied this time.
I don't think he lied. I think he does enjoy it. And you know who else really, really enjoys it? Jacob Bartlett, our special guest this episode.
That's actually not true. I thought that movie sucked.
Thank you, Jacob.
I'm sorry. It was bad, dude.
Well, welcome back, Jacob. We appreciate you
Thank
coming
you.
back and watching movies.
You're
one
our
of these
second
times-
two-timer that's not married to somebody involved with the podcast.
I don't know if I like you calling me a two-timer, but
You're a
thanks for
two-timer.
having me here.
You get presents for being a two-timer.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I got a wonderful...
Let this be a lesson to
marshmallow
other
thing.
people who might end up being two-timers.
See, I just think you should rephrase two-timer because it sounds like a bad thing.
What would be better than two-timer?
Second guest appearance?
Yeah, I wouldn't...
Yeah, two-timer sounds way better to me.
Doesn't sound nice.
Does it not?
It
I
sounds
don't
like
know.
he's a cheater.
Yeah, I'm not
A cheater?
Good,
He's
buddy.
not a cheater. I specifically asked him to come.
Yeah, but like two-timing is like you're two-timing hoe.
Yeah.
Like you're two times
Are you
about it.
cheating on other podcasts with us?
I've been on other podcasts, if that's what you're asking.
But if
This
you're
one is
cheating on
definitely
them,
your favorite, right?
It was my, I got this. I'm going to take a drink of my tea. It's my Arizona tea.
look, if you're cheating on other podcasts with us, A, you have low moral standards, and B, awesome.
People
That's
like
the
me.
best.
They like talking to me. I can't help
Oh,
that.
no, we love you, but the fact they're coming back to our podcast again to watch a second shitty movie, I'm just saying.
I wasn't prepared for how bad this one was
Yeah.
going to be.
I wasn't prepared.
Spookies had comedic value. I mean, there was explosions from Grim Reapers, and like there was at least comedic value of it.
Spookies was fun to watch. Like
Spookies was fun to watch.
It had silly shit happening in
But it was
This
so
one,
much more fun to watch because of Circle City Ghostbusters. Were here.
When I watched this like
That's
a
true.
month
We had
ago
a good
just to
time.
make sure it was suitable for the podcast, I really thought it was funnier than I thought it was tonight.
Oh, so you looked at a steaming pile of shit while watching this movie and was like, "Yeah, it's suitable."
I'd been drinking. What do you know?
Ah, shock.
and again, how's that different? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You guys act like I'm drunk all the time when really I'm just drunk most of the time.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I say.
Well, whatever.
So, anyways, so when this movie first started and the credits rolling, I saw some pretty familiar names.
Yeah,
and I was
the
like,
cast is stacked in this movie.
Jonathan Houston and Ron Perlman, and I was like, this could be good.
And then you saw Bruce Valanche, and you were
Yeah.
confused and wondering
Bruce
how that
Willis,
happened.
He's a fantastic writer. He probably wrote some good lines.
Again, a fantastic writer, but he's in this movie.
Do you think they brought him in to punch up the script a little? Like they do that,
I really don't think they
should have
would.
punched this script into outer space and
Because
never come back.
this is another Stewart Ratliff joint. So,
Is it Stewart Raffill, maybe?
Stewart Ratliff, whatever.
Yeah, it's not Daniel Radcliffe's
I'm
older
so
brother.
done with Stewart Raffel movies.
Me too.
This is the only one I think I've seen, and I'm
Have
also
you not seen
done.
Mac and Me?
I've not seen Mac
It's
and Me.
actually
I've not
pretty
had
cool.
the
It's
pleasure.
a cheesy 80s flick. It's
Well,
80s
I'm
flick.
aware of Mac and Me because I know about that Paul
Have
Rudd
you
playing
seen
the clip thing.
Mannequin on the Move?
No, I haven't.
How about Tammy and the T-Rex?
Can not say. I
Then yeah,
have
this is
ever had
probably the
pleasure.
only Stewart Raffel movie you've ever seen.
Have you seen Passenger 57?
No.
He wrote it.
Yeah. It's actually good.
I don't think they used a single line he wrote in the movie, but
No,
he wrote
probably
it.
not.
How does that work?
But anyways, and then the main character, what was his name? He's probably pretty famous.
Who,
too.
Jason? Played by Robert Urich.
Yeah, you kept telling me he was famous. I didn't know
He
who
was famous. He was in Spencer for Hire, and he was the voice of National Geographic Explorer for like my entire childhood through teenhood, I guess.
So not that famous.
He
Not
was
famous enough.
He had moderate name recognition in the 90s. How about we go with that?
So he's Vanilla Ice.
The guy that played
Agree to
Roscoe
disagree.
was Michael D. Roberts, who did nothing but play a character named Rooster in the show Beretta,
Wow.
starring famous murderer and Little Rascal.
Oh,
Angelica Houston, come on.
Angelica Houston was.
Yeah. Just,
By the way, can you guys tell me, either of
she
you tell
was
me,
in this movie for a total of 7 minutes?
what was Angelica Houston's name in this movie? She's one of the main characters. Do you know her name?
No, because we were pretty much talking the entire time. I don't think I
That's
caught
true.
too much
She was
dialogue.
in the movie for a total of 7 minutes.
Other than my ears perked up when I would hear racial slurs.
Same with Ron Perlman.
Oh yeah, the racial slurs. That was fun. Also.
Yeah.
Did not
John Carradine's in this movie. John Matuzak, former Oakland Raider, famous for being Sloth before dying terribly of a drug overdose.
In Hollywood, I don't.
Yeah,
believe
I know. An Oakland Raider from the early 80s.
Shock.
Who's also in Hollywood died of a drug overdose.
The only other main character we haven't really mentioned is the princess, who was Mary Crosby, and she is super famous from the 80s because she shot JR.
Did she marry somebody from Crosby, Still and Nash?
No. No, but yeah, come on. We got Angelica Houston. She won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress.
Not in this.
Not in this movie.
Not for this movie, no. She's smoking hot in this movie, just like she is in everything else.
She's okay.
She, at one point, I think, was wearing a backyard grill that had been bent to look like a weird shoulder cage of some sort.
The costume's not superb in this movie.
It's more like a shuttlecock to me.
The costumes in this movie were really interesting because it's called The Ice Pirates, right? Yeah. So before I came out, I didn't look into this movie at all. I was like, for sure, okay, this is going to have something to do with like adventures on the seas, maybe like they're pirates and it's like up, in the Arctic or something.
Yeah.
But no, this movie takes place in outer fucking space,
and they steal ice.
And they steal ice, which is
one planet available.
So what you weren't looking
resource.
for was a Star Wars / History of the World Part 1 / Alien / every other movie from the 80s ripoff.
No, yeah, I thought, I just based on the title alone, I was like, okay, yeah, Ice Pirates. This is pirates in a cold place, I guess. I don't know.
I know.
I have expected it to be a cartoon.
But, yeah, I did too. And even, before it started, I was like, I'm guessing this is a cartoon. I have no idea. But, yeah, the costumes were really interesting because they all dressed like they were pirates in the 1700s.
Yep.
In space.
Sometimes. And then sometimes they had really
glamorous.
futuristic costumes.
Except for the guys in, suits of chainmail.
Yeah, then they had guys in
chainmail.
Yeah. And then, of course, there was the Cybermen / Transformer babies.
Yeah, the robot people
The
look
weird
terrible.
robots, yeah.
Yeah, they look like Metatron or Megatron, and a Cyberman had a baby.
You think they just raided a supply closet in some studio somewhere and were like, these are the costumes for this film?
Like the eunuchs who look like human loofahs?
They raided the junkyard from Heartbeeps to get
Oh
these
my god.
uniforms.
I don't need the flashbacks,
Yeah,
buddy.
that's what happened.
Ugh.
So they went to the junkyard in the final scene of Heartbeeps, raided it to make these costumes, and that's what happened.
Honestly, out of all the movies we've done, and we're on episode 16 here?
A lot.
This is the second most boring fucking movie we've seen.
Pacing was a huge issue in this movie.
It's like the entire movie paced super slow, and then they literally fast-forwarded through all the fight
Through the
scenes.
end. Yeah. The last 10 minutes of this movie.
The fight scenes, the things we actually want to see, they're like, nah, we're going to fast-forward this. We're going to show you a sex scene in water, which is a very hard resource to find.
It's a limited resource, but by God, if you're screwing, you're going to splash
but if you're rich
it
and having sex, then you can just bathe in it, I guess.
Also, it's like the least sexiest sex fantasy I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah.
Ever.
They
It's
do
just like,
make a
we're going to
pull-out.
bone near the ocean in rain.
Yeah, they did make a pull out my saber joke, though.
Yeah, they
and
did.
she's like, I'll pull out your saber for you.
But then it turns out he doesn't pull out his saber because he did knock her up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He has a little space pirate baby.
Oh, he pulled it out. Put it in, but left it in there.
Yeah.
She pulled it out.
So we've spent 20
she
seconds
pulled
on
it out
this,
of
and
his
that was
pants,
about
but
19 seconds too long.
What?
I said we spent 20 seconds on this, and that's 19 seconds too long.
No.
We're going into a deep analysis of this sex scene, actually.
Okay.
What's with the weird screens in the background? I
think their biggest fantasy is to make love around water. Because water's so rare and precious in this universe.
So what movie was actually good? Actually had it where there was windows, but they were screens, and I forget what. I don't know.
We're talking about Titanic.
Really? Describe it to me.
No, there's
and breathe heavily into the microphone.
In the future, that they have screens that they're windows. I think that's a kind of a trope, isn't it? It's happened here and there.
Doctor Who has some stuff with that in it, but I don't really know what else.
I say Back to the Future.
I don't need to see the Doctor making love, buddy.
Okay. It isn't the Doctor making love, but okay.
Okay. Sure. Are you talking about Rory in the Centurion costume and Amy in the kissogram costume? Because
gotta love Amy Pond.
I don't think they're gonna like
you know
me
what?
when they find out.
I may need a moment
what
here.
They're talking about.
You should watch Doctor Who at some point in your life.
I've heard that.
Everyone should watch Doctor Who.
I've heard that more than once.
Yeah.
The
first
couple
episode of the new
seasons,
seasons is hard.
Don't get your hopes up for the last 2 seasons. That's all I'm saying.
They're not terrible.
They're not terrible. They're just not as good as other seasons.
I don't have this kind of time. Seems like a big time investment.
I know. You have children. I get it.
This movie was terrible. It was a heaping
It was
pile
bad.
of shit.
Have I explained my movie scale to you guys? How I rate movies?
You might have, but that would have been recorded in August. So go ahead.
Okay,
Give it to us again.
I look at all movies on a spectrum, and it's at the middle of that spectrum is the most average movie ever made, which is James Cameron's Avatar. So, yeah. Okay. So get ready. I'm going to blow your mind. If a movie is worse than James Cameron's Avatar, then I consider it a bad movie. And if a movie is better than James Cameron's
It's
Avatar,
every movie.
I call it a good movie.
There's a lot of movies worse than James Avatar.
That's what I'm saying. But there's a lot that are better, too.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Because that movie is totally middle ground.
It is the most average movie I've ever seen in my life. And so I would firmly rate this as a bad movie. It was worse than James Cameron's Avatar.
I would say I would watch this before I'd watch Avatar.
You would?
I absolutely would. I just don't go for that plot.
Because, see, I was almost going to be like, well, yeah, I guess for, like, the cast, you know, like Angelique Houston and stuff, it's like, oh, Avatar has a decent cast as well. Like, I mean, Sigourney Weaver's in that movie.
You were choosing Stewart Raffill over James fucking Cameron.
James Cameron did great until nobody would tell him no.
Well, maybe, but this movie, yeah, it's in my bad category. I have good and bad and then average, and there's only one movie in average.
Early Aykroyd versus late Aykroyd.
You guys can't see
Okay,
this.
late Aykroyd is just fine. Blues Brothers 2000 is a fine movie.
Oh, we
with
differ.
An amazing soundtrack.
It's a terrific music delivery.
So you guys couldn't see this. My mouth was clearly agape for a good 15, 20 seconds. I can't believe all the shit I'm hearing about Avatar. These guys think that Avatar is not a decent, or is a mediocre movie. And some of the movies they've made me watch, I just question everything now.
So, what do you like Avatar? Is it like your favorite movie?
I do like Avatar. I would say it's in top 10% of movies I've seen.
In the top 10%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow,
well,
you
we
love
all have our own.
Avatar way more than me.
I think that visually it's a fantastic movie. I think it brings a lot of important points to light. I enjoyed the plot. The acting was great. The direction was great.
Did you like that there was a substance in the film named unobtainium?
I mean,
oh my god!
Because no other movie's ever done something ridiculous like that. Have you ever watched a Mel Brooks film in your life?
Those movies are supposed to be ridiculous.
But he's supposed to have stupid terminology.
Adding a little ridiculousness.
My God, he called it the Schwartz.
I mean, adding a little ridiculousness to a masterpiece makes it more fun for me.
Oh, I mean, yeah, everybody's got their own.
I mean, there's lots of things in Star Wars that are absolutely
my movie
ridiculous.
scale. No one else has to use this.
No,
also, I realize
I'm not judging your movie scale.
Unobtainium is an actual scientific term, though, that scientists use for something that, a matter that should exist that doesn't.
So,
but it's still stupid to have in the movie.
But when it is a matter that does exist, doesn't it? By definition, be not. I know words.
Don't worry, he's been drinking.
No, I've been drinking Arizona tea. I'm plugging all the Arizona tea today.
He's getting drunk on those Arnold Palmers.
Oh boy, but yeah, by definition, does it become not unobtainium at that point if you can, in fact, obtain it in the real universe?
And it speaks volumes about the Ice Pirates that we've spent the last 3 minutes talking about Avatar.
Something else. The Ice Pirates. I would say if you want to go to sleep, it's a great movie.
I don't know about going asleep.
I had to take a break in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, we had to stand
because I was going to fall asleep.
If you have an hour and a half to waste and you want it to feel like 7 or 8 hours, this is your movie.
That seems like a lot of movies we watch.
Yeah, I get that vibe off Keppel. But a lot of them Stewart Raffill movies, like Mannequin on the Move, seems like it's 4 hours long, and it's like less than an hour and a half. So I get it.
I think I've completely blocked that movie out of my memory.
So just so you know, the people in this movie have an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, with 2 more nominations for Best Supporting Actress and Best Actress. Tons of Emmys. One of the cast members has 6 Emmys in this movie.
Which one is that? Please let us know.
Well, that would be Bruce Valanche, and none of them are for acting. They're all for writing and
You
Best
don't
Variety
say.
Show. Yeah, I know.
Don't you love
Crazy.
all these fun facts you get to learn about movies you don't care about?
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's something to know.
Well, we've got John Carradine in this movie, who was fucking amazing.
Who's, of course,
in other
the
movie.
father of David Carradine.
That's right.
R.I.P.
Father of David, Keith, and Robert Carradine.
Rest in peace.
Also, he was a big part in The Grapes of Wrath. Huge part of the Universal Monster series, mostly the sequels.
These are all black and white movies, correct?
Yeah. He was in the franchises for The Mummy, The Invisible Man, Dracula, and Frankenstein. Also had a big part in The Ten Commandments and was the voice of Great Owl in The Secret of NIMH.
Ten Commandments, isn't that Charleston Heston?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. I knew something.
You've got the knowledge today.
Yeah.
We've also got Super Bowl winner in this.
Oh, the Raiders guy, yeah.
Yeah, John Matuszak.
Just bringing that up like if we give a...
Like, yeah, we love
but,
sports.
But here's the real thing. John Matuszak was Sloth in the Goonies, and nobody's ever going to top that.
I hated that movie.
I fell asleep during the Goonies the one time I tried.
You guys didn't watch that till you're adults, right?
Correct.
No,
really?
I had it turned on for me when I was in high school.
Oh, well, again, you weren't a kid.
I just fell straight
What
asleep.
else,
when the movie
what else
came
turned
out,
you
I
on
was
high
the same
school?
age as the kids in the movie, and it's just
in a
wonderful
science
to me.
class. I don't want to talk about it.
I get that it
Teachers
hasn't
were doing
aged
bad
well.
things.
Yeah, I
like
tried to
making
watch
us
it the first time when I was like 30. It was terrible. I couldn't. It was unwatchable.
It's not for
I forced
adults,
myself to
guess.
watch the whole thing, and at the end I was like, what the fuck did I just do to myself? And there are plenty of movies that came out in that time period that I watched later for the first time. Like Labyrinth, I didn't see it until I was way into my 30s, and it's a fantastic flick. I would watch it over and over again.
What year did this Ice Pirates movie come out again?
1984.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
okay.
2.
Oh.
Yeah, it was while I still grew up in another country.
They knew how to make movies in 1984. So what happened here?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure several Star Wars movies came out before this.
It's a good thing you should ask that, because I have the story of the movie right here.
Oh, I'd
Let me
love to
guess,
hear
it was written in 2 weeks.
No, I don't think it was written in 2 weeks.
On some toilet paper.
Might have been, but no. The budget for this movie was $20 million.
They spent $20 million on this movie?
No, they didn't. Stewart Raffill came in. They wanted him to direct it because he's a capable and quick director, as we've seen before. He can make a
you
movie
keep using that word.
real cheap,
I don't think it means what
real
you think it
fast. But they brought him along, and he said he would have to rewrite it. It was a very serious space opera type Star Wars knockoff back when he came along. And he decided he wanted to turn it into a comedy.
That was also a Star Wars knockoff.
They should have kept it as a serious space opera knockoff.
While they were getting ready for production, the budget was slashed from $20 million to $8 million.
They shouldn't have slashed it.
Yeah, for an early '80s movie, it's higher than it looks on screen. That's for damn sure. It's
they should have kept the other $12 million and made a better movie.
And I don't know if you noticed, it was co-written with a fellow named Stanford Sherman, who is the writer of...
Had I noticed that, I would have forgotten it, as it has been 45 years since the beginning of that movie.
Yeah, that's true.
It feels its length and then some.
We aged like the time warp.
Well, it's important to Josh and I because that was the writer of the movie Krull.
Fuck off.
Time is a flat circle, buddy. Everything
Although,
comes around.
honestly, I would probably watch Krull again before watching this movie. And the pacing of Krull is worse than this movie.
I would watch Krull before this movie. Yeah, absolutely.
And Krull was terrible.
Yeah, Krull's pretty bad. But I'm sorry.
Mike loves
I'm
Krull.
sorry, Mike. Mike is heartbroken.
The more I find out about what Mike loves,
things.
the more I question his taste. I mean, Mike loves me, so there's that.
Aw, don't you know that.
Oh, Mary Crosby, who plays the princess in this movie, she shot JR, so she was famous for a year or two in the 80s on Dallas.
Who is JR?
Oh my God, you children are so young.
Is a television show.
I
It's
actually
a
know,
big deal.
I actually know who JR is.
Oh, okay, good,
Yeah,
good.
I was gonna say.
He's from Dallas.
I like how everyone that's famous that's in this movie is not famous because of this movie, and
They're famous for other shit.
Because this movie sucks.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. Okay, let's talk plot on this movie. I took a page.
I'm sorry,
from
talk
notes.
what?
Fucking plot on this movie.
Okay,
what is it we're talking?
All right, let's not talk plot.
There's
Let's talk
space herpes.
chunks of this movie. That's right. Space herpes is a big part of this movie.
Well, okay, I
that
want to
has
hear you.
nothing to do with the movie.
Looks like a fleshlight with a dick stuck inside of it.
It was not a pleasant looking thing.
No, it reminded me of an evil version of the little thing in Flight of the Navigator. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I've not seen Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah,
But
there's
the guys from Spark of
there's a little
Madness
creature
hated
that's
Flight of
like
the Navigator,
cute that
so-
looks like that. This is the evil counterpart.
Well, it's like clearly a ripoff of the Chest Burster. Too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's a ripoff of so many things.
I wrote down that this movie's a ripoff of Star Wars and A History of the World and Alien. There's probably 6 or 7 other things that are inside jokes in this movie that are supposed to
and the ship
parody other things.
Yeah,
but
it's sad. I don't even know.
Like, if this was a TV show, I would give it more of a pass for, like...
Maybe.
Yeah, just because, like, the quality of production and everything, you know?
Yeah.
And it has this world where, like, random stuff is happening left and right. And it's like, if these were, like... If it was broke up to, like, 3 or 4 different episodes of a TV show, it's like, okay... I guess I'd give this a pass, but nope, it is one movie and it is not cohesive.
It almost seems like this movie is like one not as funny as they wanted it to be joke after another. Like the scenes were written around the jokes that are terrible.
Yeah.
Like the first scene with action after the crawl, like Star Wars that doesn't move, and the exposition in the beginning, they raid the ship, and the first thing they do is they enter a bathroom with an alien on the toilet.
Oh, he's taking a big old dump.
While he takes a dump, and they hit him on the head while he's really confused that they're in there, and then just shits a lot. And it's not that funny.
That's the joke.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
like
joke.
he basically shits himself till he passes out.
Yeah, it's not a good start.
And then later they go back, and he's got a big old lump on his head.
Yeah, big old lump on his head.
I like
bathroom
bathroom humor. Like bathroom humor can be funny.
It can be.
I've seen lots of bathroom humor in my life that is hilarious.
But that wasn't.
This was not it.
Let's see.
No.
Next thing I have written down is "Guess we got you pegged," which is a line in the movie.
Yeah.
Having to do with butt sex.
Yeah, so it's basically when a female puts on a dildo.
Yeah.
Strap on.
They shove something
then,
up. Is it a robot's butt?
I
think so.
Something.
God, I hope it was just a rope.
Yeah, and then the female.
We literally just finished watching the movie, and I don't remember.
Yeah,
because this movie was 100 years long.
I mean, he stabs him in the back, so there could have been so many more lines that he could have put on there. But he made a pegging joke, which for the early '80s, that's advanced.
We have a 45-minute long fight scene between robots after this.
That lasts for 3.5 seconds.
Every fight scene was robots. They were just like, okay, here we go. The characters are getting ready to get involved in a conflict, and then they just send in robots to fight for them.
They hit each other and use swords, but we established that there are guns in this universe.
Yeah, there are laser guns in the universe, but they use old cutlasses.
Yeah, they knock each other's heads off and lead to all sorts
Didn't they also do that in
comedy
Kroll?
hijinks. To be honest, it's been a few weeks since Kroll.
They used regular weapons, and they had blasters on the end of them that they would use every once in a while. For the most part, they would fight in hand-to-hand combat.
I think there was like one gun in the entire movie, and it was the main guy.
Yeah, I think Jason whipped it out at one point and then never showed it again.
No, the princess also has a gun.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, that's true. She pulled a gun on him at one point.
Yep.
But I thought that was like his gun, and she just
it
was a different gun.
It was handed to her by her nanny.
Well, it was probably the same prop.
Oh, her 1,000-year-old nanny?
Yeah, it was definitely the same prop, but it wasn't the same gun.
Okay. So, and then we move on to where they're supposed to get lobotomized and castrated and become eunuchs. And the eunuchs are strange in that they have giant white wigs.
Yes.
And wear lots and lots of spandex.
Yes.
That shows their huge
codpiece
balls and cock.
They were not wearing
Edit that part
belts,
out.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
They should have.
Like,
They
they
should
have
gotten some
enormous packages for people who are supposed to have their bits and pieces removed.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and like no one notices that.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, they should.
Yep.
I mean, the codpiece. They would have helped.
Well, one of their numbers was 69, and I had a good giggle at
That is true. This is the first one that comes on screen. It's
like, nice.
That's pretty funny. And if you're thinking that's pretty funny while you're watching this movie, that tells you what the rest of the movie's like.
I mean, it's just,
desperate for something
like,
to actually laugh at.
It's like they try to make all these jokes that should have been funny, but the delivery systems were terrible. It's like when you listen to somebody try to tell a stand-up comedian's bit, but they haven't rehearsed enough, so they don't really know what it's like. And so it's like they're trying to copy all this stuff. Like Jacob even made a comment throughout the movie that you can tell they're reading their lines off of cards.
Yeah. Well, not just because you can see their eyes moving.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's like they had no delivery for their jokes. I mean, their jokes could have been funny. There was a lot of funny jokes that could have been made, but their deliveries were just so bad. Like Space Herpes should have been a lot funnier than it was.
Yeah.
But it was just sad.
And Stewart Raffill wrote the movie and directed it, so he knew where the jokes were, and then had the actors shit on them.
Were his other movies filled with jokes that were actually funny? Or...
Oh, definitely not.
Okay, I'm getting mixed opinions.
Yeah, they were.
I'm gonna need
everything in those movies
objective
lands
source.
flat.
Yeah,
hard flat.
No, we agreed on that. Actually.
We agree on that. Yeah,
we 100% agreed on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's you can see where the jokes are, and you can see they just don't like.
Now, Mac and Me has some funny jokes, but
well,
they're
Tammy
really
and the T-Rex has some.
But they're really
bits like that.
Yeah, the Nerdy Scientist has and some things here and there. The Pancake Bodybuilder. I mean, there's.
Oh my God! I just figured out what this movie's missing. Terry Kaiser.
Yeah. There was no real sassy gay man.
No,
sassy black gay man.
There was the black friend, but he wasn't gay.
Bruce Valanche was in it, but then you said,
"Oh my God,
Yeah.
Bruce Valanche in this movie." I can't believe his acting career didn't take off after this.
I mean, there was a pretty good...
was shocked.
There was a pretty good line from a black man in this, and they're like, is there any reason why it's black? Yeah, because I wanted to be perfect. That was kind of a good line.
That was all right.
It was delivered well.
Yeah.
Again, remember, Stewart Raffill did not write the line, always bet on black for Passenger 57.
Okay, whatever. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many problems with this movie.
Oh, you want problematic?
No.
Pimp Bot.
Yeah, there's a pimp robot at one point for literally no reason. It serves no purpose.
Y'all want to see some titties?
Yeah, that's literally... Someone really wanted to say the line, you all want to see some titties, and that's why they threw it in here.
Yeah, it's...
several times.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that was appropriate for the early 80s even.
I don't think that's
they
appropriate
made a
for
pegging
humanity.
joke.
Yeah, this is true.
But I bet no one in the early 80s got that joke.
Do you think? I don't know.
I don't think pegging
I
was
don't
a
know
big...
when the term really came into use, and I'm
It's
also
always
ashamed
been
to
in use.
let the world know that I know what that means.
But it hasn't really become to the forefront because kink shaming was so prevalent for so long that people thought if you liked pegging, you were gay, but that's not the case at all. Anyways, yeah, it's strange. All these weird jokes that make more sense nowadays. But I can imagine watching this in 1984. Well, it'd have been two, so it'd been hard. And understanding what some of these jokes meant. They're almost ahead of their time too much, but the delivery system was so poor that it doesn't work.
Yeah. Next thing I've written down is Space Parrot.
Yeah, I don't think that was a real parrot. And I know that you think...
I think there are parts where it might not be real, but I think there are an awful lot of parts where it is real and horrifying.
An entire parrot for this movie, there's just no way.
It is a parrot that seems to have had all the feathers that are not on its head removed.
I mean,
in a cruel and tragic fashion.
Maybe if there was a parrot that had that disease where all its feathers fell out, possibly.
That's a distinct possibility that it had some sort of disease that made its feathers molt or something, but it is disturbing to see that parrot with no feathers.
Yeah, that wasn't okay.
To defeather a parrot like that would be horrific. You see it in cartoons all the time. It's funny. Like Yago loses his feathers at some point.
It's funny because it's not a real parrot.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why I think this parrot was a robot.
I did not see any
it didn't seem like
ASPCA disclaimer in the credits.
You're giving that movie so much credit that they would have a realistic looking parrot that has...
Yeah, I was going to say, you saw the spaceship effects, right?
They were amazing.
It was almost like
they definitely weren't tiny models.
Or just pictures being slid across other pictures.
They were definitely real spaceships in real space.
So
okay, Josh.
Most of the effects in this movie look like, and the costumes looked like someone used a crayon to make them in some fashion.
It seems like the kind of effects you would get when you're like, hey, my brother-in-law is good with art.
But not like crayon brand crayons, but like the cheap Dollar General brand crayons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're giving them entirely too much credit to say that wasn't a real parrot.
They could have found it in a warehouse
tortured.
Somewhere.
Maybe. I don't know. I hope for the parrot's sake that's the case.
Yeah, because if they did that to a parrot, like it's gonna really bother me. I'm gonna have to find Stewart Raffill.
I really doubt they would do it intentionally, but again, same director that had a robotic T-Rex inferred to have sex with a Bond
it doesn't
girl.
look
so
like the deplucked parrot doesn't look big
they were
enough to be
cuddling
a
after
parrot.
Jacob. It's okay.
Oh yeah, I mean
it was consensual.
It was consensual.
She
really
wanted it.
What am I
Yeah.
supposed to?
really
I can't
need
judge
to
people.
talk.
Then she set his brain on fire with a striptease.
Can we talk about how creepy, rapey the guy was at first, and then ends up with a girl? So just,
yeah.
I mean,
again, I
like
wrote
he
down.
looks down her dress while she's asleep in a cryogenic stasis chamber.
I wrote down the note tit peeker.
And
so
then, and then he says something about how they're supposed to be raping and pillaging.
Yeah,
and
that falls flat hard.
Yeah,
that is
because unless you're a movie about Vikings,
you know what this movie needed? A live studio audience to just laugh when we were supposed to laugh.
No, this is not a laugh
I was
track.
going to say, when you said, do you know what this movie needed? I was going to say, to be drug out back and shot.
That's too kind.
I think so.
The Ice Pirates is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Would have been great right up front.
Again, yeah, maybe
Now,
it would have been better for
if
the
they
TV environment.
If they ironically made a TV show like this,
okay,
film the side of the live studio audience, where they're ironically laughing at things that aren't funny, that would be okay.
There were a couple of Mel Brooks TV shows that this reminds me of. There was Black Bart, which was
Do
a
not-
TV pilot.
Do
No,
not
it really did remind me
defame
of this, where the
Mel
jokes
Brooks.
are not good, but they have a live TV, they have a laugh track,
Yeah.
and they seem better than they are. And there was, I think it's called When Things Were Rotten, which was a Robin Hood Mel Brooks TV show that was sort of the same
It's not
sort
Men
of
in
thing.
Tights.
Yeah, it was like 10 years before Men in Tights, maybe 20. It was early. I'm old.
I forget how many movies Mel Brooks made.
Yeah, he made TV shows, and nobody remembers that. So
No, I was too young for that.
Okay. Well, the last note I have on the actual movie itself
Is the fuck?
the end of this movie. What the fuck?
Well,
You know what they find at the very end? Spoiler alert. They find Earth.
They fight in a time warp, so they all age incredibly fast, leading to what?
But then when they get out of
But
the time
none
warp,
of
it
them-
undoes it,
Yeah, it undoes everything.
which
so
makes
they
no sense. And
know
it's not really
the
explained,
future
I don't think.
involves him having knocked her up and having a baby
Yes.
because the baby grew up to be just like him and saved them when he
Yes.
was elderly. And the black dude grows what I have seen on the internet lovingly referred to
Santa Fro.
as the Santa Fro. That's right. And I can't say they're wrong. It's a beautiful thing.
What I want to know is, will they do the time warp again?
I remember doing the time warp.
Okay, answer me honestly, Josh. Have you
Nope.
seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Nope.
That's what I thought. Last time I asked you, hadn't seen it. You still haven't
No,
seen
I've
it.
not. But I have a lot of friends who love the movie or show or play or whatever it may be, and so I get to hear quotes from it quite
It's
often.
not a movie or a play or anything. It's a way of life.
It's not.
It's not. You're right.
It's a
It's a fun movie to watch.
okay. I'll take your word for it.
I was really one of the big negatives about this movie to me was the score.
Yeah, it sounds
yeah,
shitty.
well,
Like,
it sounds
super
like-
cheap.
It's like when you're watching an old Disney movie that would like just get played on TV in the 90s when the Disney Channel was new, and they're like, "We got to get to the vault because we need content." They'd play any random old crappy movie they had. It was really didn't fit. Sounded bad. Ugh.
Yeah, it was very cartoonish. And,
Yeah.
but not cartoonish enough to be fun. It's not like Tom and Jerry chasing cartoonish.
It was that it didn't. None of the music really fit the scenes they were in.
Yeah, I mean, Stewart Raffill isn't really known for his musical prowess, anyways, when it comes to movies.
It's not like
But
he wrote the music.
He had some choice in it because he was a director and everything else.
Oh,
But
yeah.
like in Mac and Me, the music was super cheesy, but at least the cheesiness fit the scenes properly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was just random power ballads. They were ironically funny, and that's why I liked Mac and Me, because everything in the movie was ironically funny. Like it was trying so hard to be something good, but it ended up being this steaming pile of just stupid 80s cheesiness, and that's why I liked it.
Oh, and also at one point a character makes a reference to needing a Tylenol, which makes no sense because they discover Earth at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Tylenol's definitely a name brand.
Okay, so the end of this movie infuriated Stewart Raffill, which I don't understand because I'm not sure how this makes any more sense than what you get. You end with
the
like
entire
a picture of
movie.
Earth from space, right?
Yeah.
Well, in his original ending, before the studio interfered, they go down to Earth and see a bunch of people on the beach, like modern day people.
Oh.
And
the studio should have interfered.
so
way
we
more.
see that it's the present
Should
day.
have come in a lot earlier in the movie.
But I don't see how that makes any more sense than what they have.
It doesn't.
Because
It makes
nobody
no
gives
difference. Like, yeah,
Is it supposed to be a big twist that it's modern day? I don't.
yeah, like
But how modern day could it be?
the most modern of all the.
I think we've set a record during this podcast so far of the number of times we've heard, ugh.
So, Jacob,
Yes.
are you ready for a game?
Okay. Sure.
We actually have a
feeling
game this week.
Matt's
That's
got a game
right.
for us.
I had a game and I found it. Let's see
Super
here.
excited for her to lose because I always lose these games.
Oh, well,
I think I won one.
I'll try to throw it for you.
Yeah,
buddy,
he's
so you
won
can have a-
one. Actually, he tied for first.
No,
I think.
you made that up. I won.
I did
If
not.
I
I
recall
went back
correctly-
through the scores. Yeah, whatever.
Last time I was here, I thrashed at the game and I did really, really well. And so
Yeah.
I just want to pat myself on the back again. Good
I
job.
think you're going to do great since we're celebrating the movies of all directors, but especially Stewart Raffill.
Mm-hmm.
If all these questions about Ghostbusters, I'm calling rigged.
Honestly, I thought about that, but
I'd
but
have
I
been
didn't do it.
Super good.
I would have laughed.
I didn't. Yeah,
That would have been the best game
I
we
didn't
ever
want to
played.
upset you.
Actually, I found it funny because I like Jacob as a human being.
Well,
I feel so good.
this game is called Mac and Me, which is a Stewart Raffill film.
Yes.
that I have not seen.
that you have not seen, but it doesn't matter because what the game is this a movie that has Bernie Mac in it?
Oh wow!
Or Vern Troyer, who was famous for playing Mini-Me.
Yeah,
that's
Mac
right.
and Me. I guess you did there.
Oh boy,
I'm gonna suck at this.
Yeah.
Unless the question is Austin Powers, I don't know any of the
Game on
Troyer.
for the race to the bottom.
All right,
you should have been here for the Gerard Depp or Dew game. That was
Depp or Dew. Yeah, that was It was Gerard Butler,
Johnny
Depp,
Tom Hanks, who played Pardue in a movie we watched.
Yeah,
or Gerard Depardieu.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was glorious.
Okay, so Bernie Mac and Vern Troyer.
Bernie Mac or Vern Troyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, bring it on.
So
okay.
Yeah, this is gonna be bad.
There's only one movie in here that probably is really obscure because it's a short film, but that's okay.
Okay.
You know, we got to make it difficult somehow.
If it's a short film, has to be Vern Troyer.
Oh, you never know. Okay, we'll start.
I really want to high five people right now, but we can't because coronavirus.
All right. Well, we'll start with Bad Santa.
Bad Santa is Vern Troyer.
Okay, yeah, Vern Troyer. You were really confident. I'm just gonna...
Yeah, it's definitely Vern Troyer.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
You are both incredibly wrong.
Oh.
Damn it.
It's Bernie Mac. There is a little person in that movie. I think it's Tony Cox.
Oh, no. Are we bad people?
Yeah, that's right. You're confusing your little people.
I thought there was elves in there.
There is. Oh, yeah, but that elf is black. So
in this movie, I thought I was bad for confusing that one lady with Zelda Rubinstein from Poltergeist. And they're definitely not the same.
But there's other elves in this movie, so I assumed he was in there somewhere as a casting.
Okay. How about Josh? We'll start with you again since you both got it wrong.
Okay.
Postal. The movie Postal.
The Uwe Boll movie?
Yes. Yes.
Who?
We haven't even hit on him yet. You wait till we get to him on this podcast.
You're in trouble, bud.
Oh, the fact that you know who he is means you're coming back.
I'm a big video game player, so I know him. Because
Uwe Boll.
We hate him.
What is that movie about?
It's based on a video game.
Oh, great.
Not a great video game either.
Paperboy?
No, the video game is in fact called Postal, and it is about.
Wow. I'm going to guess Vern Troyer. I have no idea.
I'm going to go ahead and second the Vern Troyer on that. I think that Bernie Mac would not.
And you both get a point.
Woo!
Vern Troyer's in the movie Postal.
Clap.
Okay, and I have to say, this next movie, super underrated comedy. People don't really remember it now, and it really kind of bombed when it came out, but the movie Bubble Boy is hilarious. So, Vern Troyer or Bernie Mac in the movie Bubble Boy?
I think that's Bernie Mac.
Just to be contrary, I'm going to say Vern Troyer.
The answer is Vern Troyer.
Yay.
Why did you say yay? You got it wrong.
Because he always gets them wrong.
Oh, shoot.
You're sucking at the race at the bottom.
Dang it.
How about the movie Friday?
Well, I feel like that has to be Bernie Mac.
I didn't want to give it away too much.
Vern Troyer.
Vern Troyer, you're going to say that just to
make it interesting.
Well, Josh is right because it's Bernie Mac.
Damn.
The movie Pauly Shore is Dead.
Fuck. We can only be so lucky.
It's a fun little movie. Look, if you love Pauly Shore, it's a good movie. And if you wish Pauly Shore were dead, it's a good movie.
I mean, Jury Duty was the best movie ever.
Oh, don't remind me of Jury Duty.
What?
Oh, God. Not the movie, the actual thing.
Biodome. The fun one. I'm going to go with Vern Troyer.
Okay, Bernie Mac then.
Josh has got it with Vern Troyer.
Damn it. I don't want to win.
Josh takes the lead 3-2.
This is terrible.
And here's our short film, The Adventures of Uncle Colt and Cletus.
Well, no, damn it.
Bernie Mac. I don't know.
Bernie Mac?
I'm also going with Vern Troyer on this one.
Vern Troyer. Josh gets another point. He's pulling away. Okay, the movie Head of State.
That's Bernie Mac.
Okay.
How are you so sure?
Just a guess.
Okay,
Do you
Vern
know the
Troyer
movie?
then, just because you seem to be busting his balls about this.
Yeah, it is. I know that movie.
Race to the bottom.
Maybe
you
that
guys
was
think
my-
it's great. I just
maybe that
don't
was my-
want Josh to win.
That was my.
I want him to win.
Maybe
too.
that was my what do you call it? I can't think. Words not working.
You've
It's
been
okay.
drinking
We'll
too
come to you
much.
later.
That's right. Men in Black. Oh, see, everybody looks confused now because nobody remembers either of these two guys in Men in Black.
It's Vern Troyer.
Yeah, I actually think that it was Vern Troyer too. Now that you said that out loud.
No, Bernie Mac does make an appearance in this movie. I forgot.
He does?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Okay,
Like
I'll
a
go Vern
random-
Troyer. You go Bernie Mac.
I'm going Bernie Mac.
Okay.
Jacob gets a point.
Yes.
Damn it.
Oh, wait. No. I'm trying to lose.
Now, here's the deal. Jacob has to get both of the next two right, and you have to get both of the next two wrong to tie.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
Let's see if we can make this happen.
That was my tactic all along. That's the
And I
word I
really,
tried to use earlier.
really, really don't want you to win, Josh.
I know.
Why?
So I only have to.
I try and
only
rig
have
these
to get
games,
him
okay?
through enough.
I only
You
have
put
to
this
get
boy
one of the
through
next
enough.
two right to win it all.
I'm pretty sure I put 3 Ghostbusters movies in the last game we played with you.
You put him through enough with making him watch movies like the goddamned Ice Pirate.
I have
you.
showed him some
Thank you,
fucking
Jacob.
gems, some goddamn uncut gems.
I'm just
the best movies,
so
like
glad.
Cannibal the Musical, which is spectacular, and he
have
shit
you
on it.
seen Cannibal the Musical?
Yes, I have. I love Cannibal the Music.
I forgot about that.
Again, we should be best friends.
Have you
I
seen
don't know why
Miami
we're not.
I do
Connection?
karate in the garage. No, I haven't seen Miami Connection.
Oh, Miami Connection's glorious.
You should not watch it. You should listen to the podcast about it first.
Okay, that's good. Then I'll know whether or not I want to watch it based on the opinions, which are, I'm sure
I'm a
you
little
ate
mean
it
in
and
it.
he liked it.
I'm a little mean in it.
Okay.
Okay, here it goes. We're down to the last 2 movies.
All right.
First one of those 2, Transformers.
Oh, that's Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac.
You both get a point, and that
I
means
win
Josh
the
is going to pull
game!
away. And the last one is a movie called Life that I really, really, really like.
Oh.
It's not based on the board game.
Oh, then I'm out.
It's Vern Troyer.
It is not Vern Troyer.
I didn't get a guess. You didn't give me the chance. Bernie
So,
Mac.
Oh, there you go.
I still won.
So Josh still wins by 1.
That's okay.
Woo!
I can be a gracious loser.
Also, if there are any listeners out there, watch Life. It's a good movie. I haven't seen it in a few years, but
Is the name of the movie just Life?
yeah, it's called Life. It's Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, and it's a
Because
really
you added a bunch of words into that, and it
funny
confused me.
but sweet, sort of touching comedy about 2 people who were wrongly accused, and yeah, it's horrific what happens to
black
them, but
people
it's a
wrongly
great movie.
accused?
I really enjoyed it.
I can't imagine that being.
Oh, I know
I think I know what you're talking about.
it's 2020. Everything's good now. We're beyond racism, and
This is the comedy segment of the podcast where jokes are being told.
let me tell you, the coronavirus. Oh my god!
Stop it.
And the government response to it's been spectacular. Oh my
I don't
god!
think Matt's
I'm
going
so
to be
glad that
okay.
Orange Man's in office.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm sober tonight, guys.
Yeah, God, it's stuck if you're drunk.
Yeah. Anyhow, that's all I have for this one. I don't have any more
Well.
notes, no plot points, no nothing. Anything else?
Jacob, I know you're not
You
here in
guys?
an official capacity tonight,
Yep.
but would you like to plug anything while you are here?
Well, I suppose that it would mean a whole heck of a lot to me if everybody went to CircleCityGhostbusters.com and checked out our new webpage, which is up.
Oh, a new one. Okay.
We got
These are
a
like new
page
videos?
up. It used to just send you to our Facebook page, which I would also like everybody to go to and give us a like. No new videos yet. We are still in the editing phase of our most recent fan film, but it's getting close to getting done. So look for that in the next couple months, I hope. It just we're all busy guys, so we work on it when we can.
Also, since the last time you're on, my sister apparently joined the Ghostbusters.
She did. She's a
So-
wonderful person.
It's pretty
It's nice
awesome.
to have her
Now
here.
I'm related to the Ghostbusters,
Right.
Got
makes
more
me,
degrees. I'm gonna work my way in someday.
which makes me Indianapolis royalty. I
if we
think
can
now.
find a super fat jumpsuit for me, I've got
Gibson and
everything else.
Barnes. Just look
I
them up.
think we can do it.
They're pricey, but
Also, you got a t-shirt shop out there with
Yeah.
some terrific
yeah.
artwork.
Oh yeah,
You're a
on,
terrific artist.
T-Public. So
Yeah.
if you search
Awesome.
my username on there is Lion Hartley, and I got a few things up. We also have the Circle City Ghostbusters T-Public shirt or T-Public site, and all those shirts. If you buy one of them, the commission money goes straight to our group fund, so we can do things like make convention appearances and buy supplies and
Oh
all
God,
that.
convention appearances are not
And
going to
of
happen
course-
this year.
And of course, I mean, keep the ghost traps going. And
Yeah, all that. Well, that's a separate business thing. We do all the T-shirt sales go to charity, of course. We keep the business and the charity aspects separate.
All right, so 1 to 10, Jacob.
Okay.
What would you rate this movie?
I'd rate it a solid F minus.
F
Yeah.
minus. I think you gave it a letter grade last time for Spookies.
Yeah, but I think it was
Spookies,
higher than
okay.
F minus.
I want to compare it to Spookies a little because Spookies was fun to watch in that it's so bad it's good kind of a way.
Uh-huh.
Whereas this was just kind of like so bad it's, oh my God, I want to take a nap kind of a way.
Yeah,
Yeah, Josh almost did. He rolled.
Oh,
I
I
was
did
surprised.
too.
He went fetal during the movie.
He did. He got all
Yeah.
snuggly on that
I almost
couch.
started holding onto your arm and cuddling with you, Matt, a little bit for that warmth. But
Well,
I knew I'd fall asleep.
I would have allowed it
I know.
because this is probably the last time anybody's going to be allowed to touch each other for like 2 months.
Anyway, so my rating for the movie, God, I keep forgetting what I rated the movie, so I'm just going 0.5.
0.5.
Yeah, it's just that bad. I was hoping for more. Like, I want to give it more for Ron Perlman and Angelica Houston, but they're not in the movie long enough to do it.
No, they're side characters, and I don't even think they get named.
Well, they weren't famous back then. Like, they weren't like super. They were just working
I don't care.
actors.
It's Ron fucking Perlman.
You see a movie like from early in their career, and you want to see more of that. Like, oh, what were they like? You know, and it's just you don't get that.
Well, you see Ron Perlman, and you're just like, he's not acting like Ron Perlman,
right?
Like,
so
he gets his hand cut off at one point. He goes, ah.
Okay, now the hand prank was pretty funny. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, the hand prank where he pulled off his hand later, and there's actually his hand. Like that's a classic gag.
Yeah.
So
except it happens 45 minutes from the initial hand cut off part.
Okay. And the fact that they killed space herpes. That was
the space herpes plot was
a robot stomps on the space herpes in the time warp, right? So how long? So has it been terrorizing the ship for like 20 years?
Does it come back then when they get through the time warp? They never
my God.
address that.
No. If it goes back, that space herpes is still alive. It's gonna get one of them.
Well, you know.
But what is the danger? It just was like
die.
a chest burster that never grew.
That's true. It does suck blood.
They don't explain
or something.
it.
Yeah, they don't. They absolutely don't.
It's like a useless thing. It could have been completely cut out of the movie, and it wouldn't have changed anything about the plot.
That is a huge Stewart Raffill thing.
Yeah. There's all kinds of jokes that just
pointless
don't
things that
have
make
any effect. Yeah.
Yeah, like a muscle Santa suit.
He puts you through all this?
I have.
Every month?
This is
Every
the
month.
fourth
Are you
Stewart
okay?
Raffle movie in a row.
No.
We will probably
You need a
never
hug,
watch
or
a second one.
because we can't hug because of the
Yeah.
I would. I'll
For
send
people
you
who can't
like a long
can't
distance
comprehend,
hug.
we're sitting about 30 feet apart, all three of us.
Yeah, or 30 inches.
Well, whatever. And
They have surgical masks on. I'm wearing an accurate Scorpion costume from Mortal Kombat. I've got the cover over my face, and I am in fact a ninja right now.
he also has the chain with the blade attached, which I don't understand why.
Get over here!
Oh, Batman. I can understand my dialogue in this film.
Where is she? Where's all this?
And
all right, we gotta go because this is getting like way crazy.
On that note, I would give this movie a 4.
You would.
I would. It's.
Would we rather watch this movie?
It can be hard to watch,
or the
but we've
Batman
done
movie?
it.
Mike's gonna give it a fucking 8.
An 8?
So, or 3.8. I can't quite tell.
Out of
An 8.
out of 100 or
out of a million or a trillion or
one of these days we're gonna have Mike actually on mic to explain all the movies that he's loved that we have done.
I know.
You could have a segment, Mike on the mic.
There we go.
We need to end this podcast.
You're welcome for
it's
that.
going way too long, and Liz is gonna have to do.
That
all
is
this.
true.
And
I'm
it's
not gonna
almost
lie.
midnight.
Is
and
it
I
really?
turned into a pumpkin.
Oh.
So,
5,
Matt, as always, you're a son of a
4,
bitch.
3,
but I do
2,
love you.
1.
And
Happy New Year, Josh.
No, stop it.
Oh.
Anyways,
everybody out there, wash your hands, stay safe.
You're doing a very bad job.
It's been a
of
month,
podcast.
and I love you.
I love you too, Matt.
What's the next movie you guys are watching? Do you know?
He won't tell.
I
That's
haven't.
part of
It
the whole
depends
thing.
on our next guest and when we can next actually gather in a group without being.
Why
He
does it
doesn't
depend on
tell
the
me
guest?
the movie beforehand.
Do you let the guests pick sometimes?
We don't, but we had a guest contact us saying, "I want to be a guest, and these are the movies I want to cover." So,
all right, I'm bringing one next time then.
I'm all for it. Are you going to be our first 3-timer?
Okay, yeah, because I don't want to be a 2-timer for much
Are
longer.
you a 3-peat?
3-peat's nice. 2-timer sounds bad.
I'm just going to say we'll probably have you and some other folks of your ilk in for Halloween.
Look at that.
Yeah. Okay, we gotta wrap this up for real.
Yeah, for
We can
sure.
talk about this
For
afterwards.
sure.
I love you, Matt.
Love you,
Bye.
Josh.
I love you, Jacob.
Love you, Jacob.
Bye-bye.
This episode of You're Gonna Love This or Not was recorded at the SFP Studios located off beautiful Eagle Creek Reservoir in Indianapolis, Indiana. It features Matt dragging Josh down into the dark depths of his movie collection and is released monthly on the Teen Geeking family of podcasts. It is produced by Mike Wycliffe, edited by Liz Shun and Tony Troxel, and features music by Scott Holmes, who can be found on the Free Music Archive. Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or the podcatcher of your choice. And please leave us a rating and review. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Anyhow, that's brought me to this point, and we do have a sponsor this week.
Oh my God, who could our sponsor possibly be?
Well, this episode is brought to you by Corona. It's called COVID-19. God damn it. Drink Corona.
Wow. Speaking of jokes that fall flat.